hold the frequency. That's my favorite phrase. Hold the frequency. Remember what you are. Remember where you're from. Spiritual being having a human experience. Soul, light being, star seed. You are not here. Right? Okay, so I'm a multidimensional. Okay, that means physical, spiritual, mental, emotional, multiple levels and layers of consciousness. Okay, and I heal on all those levels. There are so many people who are not embodied in what they are. Emphasis on the what, okay, in terms of being energy, in terms of being, infinite, in terms of being spirit, in terms of being all those things, all those metaphysical things that we talk about. When things happen in this world, right, when there's chaos in the world, we refer to the concept of as above, so below, on earth as it is in heaven, right? When there's chaos in the world, that means there's disruption and chaos and disorder going on in the spiritual. But what does that mean for you, for us as healers, as multidimensionals, right? As spiritual beings? That means we need to be getting into alchemy. We need to be doing our alchemy. That's what we need to be doing when there's chaos going on in the world. That means we're transmuting emotions. That means we're working on our physical body. That means we're changing the way that we think, the things that we believe through affirmations, through neuro-linguistic programming. Okay, that means we're getting into our spiritual work. That means we're checking in with our higher power and observing our moralism and our integrity. We're doing transmutation work. We're doing alchemy work when there's chaos in the world. That's what we're doing. We're not getting caught up in being of it. Remember, in it, not of it. Remember? Okay, a big part of the work in remembering what you are and holding that frequency is the emotional detachment work. And you get into emotional detachment as you're doing shadow work. So many people do say shadow work, shadow work, shadow work, shadow work. But it's like you learn the full spectrum of emotions. Okay, you learn how to accept them. You learn how to observe them. You learn how to regulate them and release them, right? And the same thing applies when it's things going on in the world. Now, I'm not saying any of this to be insensitive. My heart is with anybody that's experiencing grief or pain or uncertainty, because that's real, right? We can't bypass the human experience. We're having one, right? And the human experience is emotional. And so when things happen in the world, it evokes certain emotions out of us, heavy emotions, intense emotions. But we have to remember we're in it, not of it, right? Every emotional trigger or reaction is proof of attachment, a very strong attachment, okay? And I'm still on my path. I'm still learning. I'm still healing. I'm still, you know what I'm saying? I'm still doing my thing out here. This is my work. This is what I do. So I'm not saying this as if I'm above anything. I can see though. I can observe. You know what I'm saying? I've learned how to see things from both sides, the physical dimension, the spiritual dimension, and being able to observe the illusions. We learn certain signs and symbols, and we study certain things so that we can see through illusions. Our third eye is open to protect us from being caught up in illusions. And you know how deeply you're caught up in illusion by how emotionally reactive you are to certain things in this world. Now, certain people may have paths that lead them to advocate for certain injustices, or may have a certain association or affiliation with the third dimension and have to do more humanistic type things. Okay, so I'm not ignoring that reality, but even with that, you still remember what you are. You still remember where you're from, right? Celestial being, solar being, cosmic being. Okay, you're not from here. You're not of it. You're just in it. Okay, and so we have to observe that eye has to be open. That eye has to be sharp, right? So that you can see both dimensions. All right, and it's a blind spot, I think, for people when they get caught up in illusions out here, because there's some more emotional work and even spiritual work that has to be done internally. There's more inner work that needs to be done. And I can see it. I see it all the time. I see it all the time. I've spent a lot of time in hermit mode. Okay, I've spent a lot of time in the dark and in the underworlds. Okay, so I can see when people still have certain attachments emotionally, and I can see when there are some spiritual afflictions that go on too. Okay, and like I said, spiritual work is about your morality and about your integrity. Okay, and how you can extend compassion to certain experience, but still, again, detaching, understanding what you are. What you are: energy, spirit, light. Okay, human experience, temporary. We observe. All right, we got to see through the illusion. Your eye got to be open. I'm hoping I'm helping somebody right now, or activating somebody right now. You got to remember: wake up, wake up. Remember what you are. Remember where you're from. Remember what you're supported and protected by at all times. Okay, get deeper into your inner work so that you understand how to observe things in this physical dimension, in this physical reality, from a higher consciousness, so that you're not swayed by things that happen here, so that you're not shooken up too much or too severely by things that happen here. There's always a way to interpret things that happen in this physical world. You just have to be aware. You have to have the knowledge. You know what I mean? You got to do your study. You have to have certain kind of things in your repertoire. Okay, you got to have certain kind of things stored in your mind to be able to decipher and decode things. All right. So if you enjoyed this message, okay, please like, share, and subscribe. If you're interested in any of the services I have to offer, I offer a multidimensional chit chat. We could talk about this. Okay, it's 50% off right now, or I have a service consultation for free, and we can just talk about your journey, your path, and possibly give you some sources or, information for you on your journey if you don't want to work with me. Okay, because I'm all about people finding what they need and what works for them, and I'm not going to work for everybody. Okay, I already know that. I also offer readings. Okay, but remember who you are, remember what you are, remember where you're from, and hold the frequency. Peace.